Hello and welcome to this new post where we will have a look at supply chain management and supply chain related topics and how we can use a bot to help us investigating things in our supply chain. For example, how many items do we have on stock? For example, when do we expect the next deliveries and so on. Yeah. So, short agenda. First, I will start with a quick review of the previous posts. Then I will talk a bit about redirects and dynamic chaining. Then I will do a demo and then we will close with a summary. So let's get started. Short review. What did we do in the previous posts? So in the first post, I showed you something with my Lego robot and how people were taking out money from our cash register. Yeah. So it started, the people had to identify themselves. Then the robot opened the door for people that were allowed to withdraw money or take money. Then we took the money and then we did an automatic posting in our ERP system so that the accounting is correct. Then in the last post, we had a look at month-end closing where people use a checklist. And one element of this checklist was the reconciliation of main and sub-ledgers. How did we do that? Well, we asked the user basically, what area do you want to reconcile? For example, AP, we gave them a choice. Yeah? Then we asked, what company do you want to reconcile, do this reconciliation? Yeah? For example, USMF. Yeah? And by asking this question, there was a clear guidance on how to make your selection and what the system is doing. Yeah? So if we have a look, yeah, this was basically a very, very stringent workflow where we started with topic 1. Yeah? For example, ask some questions about the company, the date range. Yeah? And then we were doing some redirection to topic 2 where we had a flow running that calculated the ledger balances. Yeah? And then once this was finished, then it was redirected and it was going to calculating the sub-ledger balances. And then there was something else. Yeah? So there was really a very, very clear workflow from left to right what this bot was doing. Yeah? So a user could not simply jump from topic 2 to topic 1 or start with topic 2. Yeah? This was just not possible the way how we did it. Yeah? And today we want to have a look at dynamic chaining. Yeah? So what is that? Well, I use a couple of plugins which are basically kind of connectors. Yeah? If you know the Power Platform, these are kind of connectors that we use to investigate about the on-hand stock, the expected deliveries, the address, and so on. And we also use generative answers because I have no script or no connector set up in my demo system for giving me the travel route to pick up the items at the inventory side. Yeah? So I use all of these things, but I do not make a script. I do not say, hey, you start here, then here, then here, then here. Yeah? The user can start with whatever he or she wants. Yeah? And what we are doing in the following is we use the description of the topics and artificial intelligence to let the bot determine what we are interested in and then give us a feedback. Yeah? So the conversation is of course much more open. And now, after all of this introduction, let's have a look at my demo system and see how this all works. Okay, so I'm here in my demo environment and now I open my bot, the one that can give me some information about my supply chain and items that I have on hand and so on. And now let's try to ask some questions. Yeah. So how many pieces of item number D001 in site 1 in company DMF do we have on hand? Yeah. So basically I want to know what's on stock. Yeah. That's possibly something you should not allow your customers or competitors to ask, but this is just for me, maybe an internal bot to help my sales people. Yeah. And now what happens is behind this question is a plugin that has a connection to my ERP system and that asks this question. So you see, okay, I have here 108 pieces. Yeah. Let's double check. Yeah. That's my ERP system. I have here item D001, 108. Yeah? So now let's try asking about side 2. How many pieces of the same item do you have available in side 2? Let's see if it can find this. On the right hand side you can always see the tracing. Okay, it says 98. That's what we saw. Now we want possibly to know, hey, what's the expected quantity that is receiving. Maybe this 98 is not sufficient for us. So let's ask what is the expected quantity that is delivered within the next weeks for item D001 in side 1 in company DMF. So let's see. And the other thing that you can see from my first 2 questions is that I used a different kind of text to ask the same question. And also the second question was basically not, so if we wait here a minute, the second question did not provide the company and it did not provide the site. But from the context before, it remembered that it was company DMF and site and the item D001. Okay, but now we get an expected delivery of this item in side 1 of 10 pieces. So does this work? Is this correct? Well, we have here ordered in total 10. That's what I want. And basically behind is a flow that gives us this information. Okay, but now let's say I want to pick up these items. Where is site 1 in company DMF located? Can you give me the address? So now I have a third plugin, and I ask this bot for the address. So let's see. It's also calling now a flow in behind the scenes, and then let's see what we find and where we can possibly pick up the things. So we see here it's located in Domstraße. So okay. Now let's say I want to plan my trip to Domstraße. How can I travel to Hanover from Würzburg by car? Can you give me details? So the last question is now not using a plugin, but it's using generative answers, because I had no plugin for that. And now you see, okay, to travel from Würzburg to Hanover, you follow this. Okay, good. Now, let's say we ask all now in English language. Now let's try the same. Let's try to talk now in German language. So, was ist die Adresse von Site 1 in Firma DMF? Usually it takes 1-2 rounds until it recognizes the language difference. So let's try. And then see what is the outcome. Well, still waiting. Okay, now we get the feedback in German language. Amazing. Because the whole setup of this bot was done in pure English. But there's one thing I want to show you where you might fall into a trap. So let's say, wie viele Artikel, wie viele Stück von Artikel sind in Site 1 in Firma DMF auf Lager. So now I ask the bot in German, I expect the feedback to be in German, but you will see that we will get an English feedback. See? And once we have the feedback, hopefully, I will try to explain you why. Yeah. So it says the on-hand quantity is 108. Yeah? Why is that? Well, because for this plugin, I scripted and I said exactly what the bot should answer. For this plugin, I did not provide anything. Yeah? So we will have a look at how this works. Yeah? But now let's get started first with how to set up the thing. Yeah? So first thing is I use generative answers for travel instructions. Yeah? So I said, okay, contact Bing, contact Google Maps to give me the travel instructions. The other thing that I set up is this dynamic chaining. Yeah? If you are in Europe or outside of the US, you might not be able to switch this toggle on. Depends a bit when it becomes available. Yeah? So when you see this video, it might be available already, but if not, you have to use a US sandbox. Yeah? Okay, now let's have a look at our topics and plugins. Yeah? So what you can see here is this dynamic chaining. Yeah? So I basically did not create any topic. Yeah? The topics are still the same from a standard test bot in my demo system. Yeah? I didn't add anything. But what I added is basically a flow. Yeah? How did I do that? Well, I clicked here. I said create a plugin action. And then I said here on top, create a flow. Yeah? If you're doing that, let's try that. Yeah? There's currently a short thing you should be aware of. Yeah? This bot will open with this connector, so this trigger and this response. Yeah? They did not work for me. Yeah? So what I did was the following. I said delete this one, and then I added this agent. I added this one. Yeah? So replace the existing ones with for this one. Yeah. So it's an issue in my environment. Maybe it's already gone when you see this. Yeah. But that's what helped me. And now let's have a look at the flow that we used. So I say cancel because I already set this up. So we have here this one that investigates for the inventory quantity. Yeah. How did I do that? Well, I created a flow first. Yeah. Let's have a look at the flow. The input that I provide for the flow is basically the company, the site, and the item. Yeah. Why? Let's try to find the thing. It's probably this one. Yeah, this one here. So here I start here with my information, the company, site, and item from the bot, and then I use it to call this entity in my ERP system, and I ask for the data area ID, which is the company, item number, and site, and then I calculate the total and return this. Yeah? So that's return the on-hand quantity. So if we go here, the input is here site, item, and company. The output is then here the on-hand quantity. That comes from the flow. Yeah? And what you see here is that I created the message. Yeah? I said the on-hand quantity is blah blah blah. Yeah? That is in pure English. That's why I got this answer. Yeah? But I used a different plugin for the address. Yeah? So here I wanted to know the address where I can pick up the things. Yeah? So I use this flow, invent site address. So let's have a quick look at the other flow. Let's go back. There should be one for the inventory site, because I need to know where to travel to. Yeah? And here I basically said, okay, site and company, that's what you need to enter. And then you get back the address. Yeah? But now the difference is the following. Yeah? In the input section, I have here site and company. In the output section, I have here the site address. That's what's coming back from the bot. But now you see, I said, okay, dynamically generate the message. Yeah? And that's why I get the flexibility to get the answer in German language. Yeah? Okay, but another important thing is, how does the bot know when to use which kind of plugin or topic. Well, and that's basically defined in the description, and that's the key to all of this. Yeah, what you have to do is you have to be very precise in the display name and the description. So this one gives the system a hint when to use this plugin. So when to ask for the inventory quantity. Yeah, or if you ask here what is the incoming quantity that I expect over the next weeks. Yeah, then you have to provide a pretty good description here when to use this one. Yeah, so that the bot exactly knows, okay, Ludwig asked this question, now I have to jump to this one. Yeah. Okay, so that's it, basically what I wanted to share with you. So now let's go back to my PowerPoint for some closing remarks and hints. So as a short summary here, what did we see? Well, we saw that the bot was more flexible. Yeah? The bot conversation was just easier. You do not have to say, I want to go from topic 1 to topic 2 or something. Yeah? By using redirects, the system automatically found what to use. Yeah? Then I find it easier than setting up this chaining. Yeah? It's not necessary, but you have kind of less control, and maybe the conversation is a bit longer. Yeah? So you have to be pretty concentrated on when it comes to setting up these plugins. The critical thing is, of course, the description of the model input and the output that you expect from the plugins. And what we saw is the multi-language feature that automatically comes. Yeah? And here be aware, yeah? This only works if you let the system define the feedback. Yeah? If you are doing and scripting the feedback, then it's not translating. But if you allow the system to run this, then you get the multi-language feedback from the bot. Okay, that's it what I wanted to share. So thanks for watching and listening. And then till next time.